wanted to share my castle build. I finished this. It took me a long time. I had to get all of the material and all of the fun stuff to do. Plus, I had to redesign this like 5 times because I wasn't happy. But yeah, here is my castle build. I didn't use any mods. I wanted to make sure that it was available to be built by anyone who wanted to build, and so this is what I did. Alright, let's go explore. So I wanted to make it as realistic as possible. I put in this garage door, I guess you could call it. The point of this was that I wanted to make it so that way if the castle was ever under attack, they would be able to easily close the door without having to leave their post. Although I found out later that the guards don't actually stay in their post when they're at the castle. Everywhere else they'll do it, but not at the castle for some reason. I also put in a siren. Again, if ever they're under attack, the whole castle will be alerted. This is the entrance I wanted to mainly be used. If I was the one in charge and this was real world, this would definitely be the entrance I would choose as everyone to use. The reason why is because of the fact that I put a trader's post right here. Anyone who wanted to come in to get some goods, to request help, essentially this would be the area I wanted them to come to. But of course the other side is also built. I've built it so that way anyone could use it from either side, but this was the one I wanted to have be the main entrance, so I made it bigger. I made it with a trader's post, and I put a few more defenses on this side. Alright, then we go in. I was thinking of putting some things up here, just in case. I ended up running out of room, so I wasn't able to do that, but this is the entrance, I guess you could call it, to the layout of the castle.
This is Radio Freedom.
I think it's a nice view, honestly.
Keep it tuned to
Alright, let's head over into the guns area. I put a power armor station here, so that, of course I have my Brotherhood of Steel. I left my Minuteman Steel, or Minuteman outfit, uniform, power armor, whatever, at Sanctuary, but I wanted to put a power armor here just because it looks pretty nice with a power armor. Then we move in. I didn't do it much in here. I just added weapon racks with laser muskets, and I'm modifying the Focused Institute rifles. I'm going to put them into automatic and give better sighting on them. Same with the laser muskets. I wanted to put better sighting on them, make them a little bit more accurate before I give them to the people on guard.
I feel more comfortable.
Again, I'm running out of material, so I haven't finished that, but it's a process. That's the only thing I did in here. And we move on. Alright, so this is one thing that I'm pretty proud of. I originally was going to put my farm in here. I thought that there was plenty of grass, it would look fine. But because of the fact that this isn't exactly the straightest area, it's curved in areas and lots of rocks, which make it impossible to plant in a straight line, which I like to do. Especially if you're going to be in a military post, I wanted to make it something that would be organized. So instead what I did was I built my farm out here with planters, so that way it was off the ground and that way no one could really get in here. Of course there's also guard posts, so that way again no one would be able to get in here this way. I thought this was a little bit better of an idea of what to do, so the whole castle is farmed. They can supply their food to their men without having to go to settlements and request food from them like the Brotherhood of Steel does. We make our own food here. So, yeah. Let's go to the other entrance, work my way around. Again, this one's a lot smaller. I did put another guard post out here, just like the other side. I wish that guard posts were designed so that way you could have this kind of setup rather than just that kind of setup, because this looks more military to me, and I would have done that rather than this. you work with what you got, right? But yeah, again, I put the castle name on it. This side is a little bit different because I didn't put any guard posts down here. I put the guard posts up there. This door actually has 2 switches to it. One time I was running from Mirelurks because they just happened to be over there. And I was running just because I was a really low level and they were a really high level. And I wanted to get them over here because I did want to kill them. So I kept turning around to shoot at them to make sure they were still following. And I ran into this castle, closed the doors, and I went up there. But they opened the door behind me and chased me up on the wall. So I was like, nope, that's not happening again. If ever this castle actually gets attacked, I don't want it to be easy for people to get into the castle. So I made it, if ever I was being chased by like a Deathclaw or any higher level Mirelurks. Of course, now I'm a high level, so I don't have to worry about that as much, but the point still remains. If ever someone's running, they can easily close the door behind them and not have to worry about it getting opened. But up there, I also have a switch right next to it, so if the people on duty see that we're being attacked, they can also close the door and sound the alarm. And then of course I have a spotlight. Oh, my spotlight is not. Let's fix that real quick. Spotlight and a heavy laser turret. I wanted to again make sure that this place was fortified, just not as fortified. Alright, let's move on. Inside, or I guess still outside, this is my favorite. I was so happy when I discovered that they added this to one of the DLCs because I was tired of placing a million generators and taking up so much space in my settlements, and so now I can just build this on my big settlements and not have to worry about taking up as much space. I once saw someone do a million generators and they put it in the kitchen, and then they closed off the kitchen like if it was the electrical unit, and I don't know, it just took up too much space for me. I could not do that, and I was so happy that this came out, and when I got the level I was just ecstatic. So yeah, now this is my energy for the castle, and I don't have to take up a million space. Let's actually head upstairs. I want to show you guys up here real quick my recruitment beacon. But okay, so what I did with my design and my defenses is essentially if the Minutemen actually retook the castle, what they would have done is they would have fortified this place on all sides. They would have made sure that if another Mirelurk Queen or something worse, Behemoth or whatever, attacked the castle, that they would be defended from all sides this time. I believe, just judging by the fact that when you first come to the castle, there's guard posts, but they're only at the entrances. There's nothing at any of the other sides. There's no other defenses other than like destroyed artillery. Because I mean, if you're gonna plan defenses, you plan based on where you think that you're gonna be attacked. And so now that the Minutemen have gone through the attack of being attacked from 2 different sides, one side where there is no entrance, where you don't think that you're going to be attacked, and that's probably what caused them to get destroyed. And it may have just been one Mirelurk Queen. If I was to guess that after a while of trying to kill that thing, some people would have tried to escape and ran that way, and the Mirelurk Queen chased them and killed them. If not, if there was 2 attacks, then they managed to take down one. Good job for them. But the point being is that they would have learned from their lesson. They would have built defenses after they'd retook it on all sides, making it so that way they didn't have to face that again. And so, on the entrances, on the places where there aren't entrances, I should say, I put missile turrets, because if you're going to be attacked from the side that has no entrance, it's going to be from something big. So, missile turrets, so that way another Mirelurk Queen comes from this direction or another direction, missile turrets will be able to take it out a little bit easier, or at least give us enough of a warning to call in the cavalry and wake everyone up. I also put 2 40 water purifiers. I wanted to make sure that the castle, again, was feeding and watering their own men, not having to do what the Brotherhood of Steel does and go to settlements and request food from them. Alright. This, I built because I needed more room, more space to put beds, and I didn't like cramming them all into that corner over there. And so I eventually spread them out throughout the castle, and even still I ran across the fact that I didn't have enough space without cramming everyone into tight spaces. And while yes, it is a military outpost, I didn't want that to be the case. So I built this spot, and it was a challenge, to be honest, to get 2 walls to stack on each other, because they don't actually do that. They don't link with each other. And so it was a challenge. I eventually did it without there being a gap in between the 2 spaces, and when I put the wall up here, I was like, that's why this is right here. I originally had all of them walled out like that, but I didn't like that because of the fact that, say someone actually did manage to get in, a group managed to get in, and people were up here looking out onto the beautiful sight, then they'd have to run all the way over here rather than just running straight, or run all the way over there instead of just running straight. And so I did this. Now granted, it doesn't give as much coverage as if it was the whole thing up, but if someone makes it inside, everyone up here should be dead anyways. But it's a precaution. I wanted to make it so that way you could see out, and yeah, that was the idea anyways. Again, over here, these are the laser turrets, not heavy laser turrets, that were the laser turrets that were found in there when you first open it up. Same with the ones over there that are on top. I was thinking of just destroying them and creating heavy laser turrets, but I ran out of material, so I wasn't even able to make. I was only able to make one, and then I was like, you know, actually, I think this works. Looks good. It's not terrible, and I'm out of space now, so I can't continue to build. But this was what I ended up doing. I also created 2 of these, one on the edge so that way they can connect to all of the other stuff, and then one on this side. I originally, when I was first building it, I had this just straight connect to it, but that left the wiring going down, and if this was real life, you would have walked and clotheslined yourself. So say that you're being attacked from that side and the people are on this side. They would have to run. If it's the middle of the night and you forget that there's a clothesline there, then you're out. So I created this so that way you don't have to worry about that, and you can just run wherever you need to run, do whatever you need to do without having to worry about that. Also, I put machine gun turrets, the heavy machine gun turrets, on the edge on all sides. Partially because on this side, you can't really see past that point. Even the missile turrets, they can't really see past that point. And so I needed to make a way that if we're attacked by a group of raiders or whatever, that anyone hiding from here will still be able to get shot at. So that was the idea, and so I put these 2, and as I continued to build, I was like, wait, it doesn't work just having 2 machine gun turrets. So I ended up putting 1 on every end as an increase of insurance. And again, missile turrets, if, say, another Marler Queen comes from this direction, we'll be prepared. Alright, that is my defenses. Let's head down. Inside. Or, no, we'll head inside, and then I'll show you my build in there. It's not exactly like if it was perfect, because again, I ran out of room. That's the problem I always face with building these settlements, is just running out of room. And while I know that there's a cheat that's not using mods that you can expand the settlement, I do that to an extent for all of my settlements. But I don't want to do it, like overly do it, because of the fact that you can eventually break the game, essentially. And so I did do that here, but I did it to the bare minimum of what I needed, just so that way it felt complete, or complete enough. In my opinion, this is complete enough. Okay, let's move on. I have my clothing department here. Actually, usually I have all of my armor racks filled. This is essentially the uniform requirements. Um, I guess I should have put this on and left it there, but I needed it, and so I ended up taking it. But I have my provisioners all wearing this postman's uniform because of the fact that it's essentially like they are the postman. They're bringing mail from one settlement to another. That's the idea anyways, so I think that's what they should be wearing. My Minutemen uniform and my doctors, any of the clinics that I set up, this is what they wear. As for that rack, let me show you what they wear. Let's go this way. Alright, so I have them wearing military clothing. I designed it so that way they were wearing army helmets, military clothing. That's the idea anyways. They're the ones that go onto the guard posts. They're the ones that, in this settlement, walk around wielding weapons and stuff. Eventually I'll have them all holding the same guns too, but because of the fact that I constantly am running out of material, I have some of them holding pipe pistols while others are holding laser rifles.
Huh?
Okay. Onward or downward. Okay. This is his bed. But again, this is the thing that I did, was building the beds. I didn't want to keep all of the beds in here. I wanted there to be space. And honestly, if I had more room, I would have made little cabinets. Just that way they could have something to store their stuff in. But because I don't want to break my game, this is what they get. I also have my chemistry station there. I felt like that was a good spot to put that, and I think it works. More beds, more beds. This is my room. I didn't really know what to do with this. I still don't. I'm going to leave it like this. I like it. I feel like the general should have 2 beds, just because he's the general. He should have a better bed. And this is where I meet with all of my colonels, or whatever the secondary unit after general would be in the Minutemen standards. And I also wanted to keep this. I felt like it worked with the cigars being there, so I kept it. I like it. I'm going to keep it still. Alright, and then I kept the clinics stuff here. I also kept this over the first aid area. I just feel like it works for the clinic, and I do like it. Onward. Nothing really there. This I turned into the barracks. No, that's not the word. The eating area. I don't know what the military calls that. I'm sorry if anyone's in the military watching this. I don't know what that's called. But this is what I turned into it. Place to wash your hands, cook, and get the food. So, yeah. Okay, now to show you the last thing. This is the place where I put the rest of the beds. I needed to make space so that way this floor didn't block the entrance. So I ended up doing this. And I put all the beds here, all the remaining beds. And that way I don't have everyone crammed into tiny spaces. Everyone's able to have kind of their own space, not bumping into each other when they're waking up. And I also wanted to make sure that it was covered, so that way there was no rain coming in. I wish that, for some reason, I wasn't able to put any wood, any more connecting onto this. It just would not link. And when I tried going from the other direction, it had it up. And so like it was kind of like a step instead of being connected to the rest. And I guess it was glitching, and so people, when they were walking on this part that was covered, they ended up going through the floor and walking on the metal part rather than on the wood. And so I didn't like it. I ended up removing it. This person has to live with a little bit of water getting on them, but it's not the end of the world. So yeah, that is my settlement. That is the castle. I'm very proud of it. I think that this castle works as a realistic version of what it would be if it was in real life. And that's the point of what I do, is to build settlements, design them realistically, make them look good, and have them function. Hope you enjoyed it. I am working on my sanctuary build right now. I have to restart it. I ran out of space again, which is the problem, like I said earlier, the problem that I face when I'm building my settlements. And I'm also working on a few other settlements. I'm turning Taffington Boathouse into a like a store area, so I have a lot of stores set up. I'm still working on the design. I'm also working on my Sunshine Tidings co-op. I'm turning that settlement into kind of like a warehouse district. But once I finish them, I'll put them here, and I hope you guys enjoy them.